Movie Chats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Chats with Ant and Rye. This week we are talking about the 2025 horror/thriller Dangerous Animals, directed by Sean Byrne and starring Australia's Jai Courtney. It's actually set in Australia. We're doing another Aussie horror movie.
I know, it's pretty rare to have a horror movie set on the Gold Coast. So just like any movie actually set on the Gold Coast in Australia. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was an odd location. There was times where, you know, it's got the view of all those high-rise buildings, and you're thinking, oh yeah, but I'm still watching a horror movie. It was a bit of a unique kind of setting. So the story is we've got a Tucker who owns a charter boat that he takes people out for doing shark tours. They do a shark dive. We meet at the beginning of the movie not a couple, but we've got Greg and Heather. Greg's Canadian, Heather's a Pom. They're backpackers, and, you know, it's kind of a, so does anybody know you here? Nah, friends are off they've gone to SeaWorld for the day. We just thought we'd come on to do this. And he's right. And so he's amping them up, and they're a bit nervous, and he goes, look, let's just sing Baby Shark do 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 do, Baby Shark do 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 do. Winds him down. He's a bit of a larrikin. They go off to do their thing, and then it's all over, and they come up, and then straight away, bang, 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 he stabs Greg to death. And it's like, welcome aboard. And it's like 9 minutes in, and you're like, oh, the tension started straight away, hasn't it?
Straight away. That was a very good, unexpected thing. The only thing, you know what, I really regret that I watched the trailer, because they show that. And if I didn't see it and I saw it for the first time in the movie, I think I would have been just speechless for like a full 5 seconds at least. Yeah.
Movie shifts gears a little bit. It changed its protagonist. I just got a little thrown back because, you know, you've got this Heather. She's, you know, a pretty young thing who's, oh my God, she's going to be a prisoner on board this boat. Switches to an American lass called Zephyr. Cool name, by the way. That's such a...
Pretty cool. Pretty surfer girl. 90s
she's a
dream.
she's a free spirit. She's a bit of a lone wolf. She doesn't really need anybody in her life, and she meets this guy called Moses. Again, great names in this film. And just by a chance, they both really love the same song. You know, I'm a 42-year-old man, and I don't think I would know that Creedence in the Creedence in the Clearwater sung this song. No. I wouldn't be able to go, oh, you're a Creedence fan? Don't know that. And automatically they kind of bond over that.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to get into it, the romance, I didn't really buy it. It's a bit forced, and it doesn't need to be there. I mean, I would be okay with, they had a one-night stand and they had a connection, and that's great. And then he's worried about her because she's not showing up, and he goes looking for her. I think when it was especially forced is when he put them both in the basement the first time, and instead of being absolutely gobsmacked and wondering about his safety or what are we going to do, my God, are we going to die, he's just flirting with her. And I'm like, no, doesn't work.
Not the right time. I think aside from the horror element and the thriller element, I didn't hate the fact that it was kind of a human element, where she kind of learns that I don't need to be alone. It's okay to have somebody to kind of be there for me. It was kind of, that was actually kind of it was a little bit forced, and it was just, I didn't really believe it at times, but it was okay.
It was okay. I just don't think that they needed to push a romance beyond the one-night stand. But
because the level of investigation and the level of effort he goes to this chick that he's had this one-night stand, because even the cop goes, what's her last name? And he's like, I don't know. So how long have you known her?
I like that.
How long have you known her? 10, 11 hours. But it was a really good 10, 11 hours. Yes, it was a really good 10, 11 hours. But it's just, it was.
I know. Yeah, it's worth noting. Did you clock that? So the first two people that he goes after, so there is a Canadian guy and an English girl, and then he goes after an American girl. Did that remind you of Ivan Millet, the backpacker killer? Always going after the backpackers. Those are the one in the country. They are coming to visit. They are far away from their families. They're easy targets.
On that, why the hell did Moses go to the cops? Hey, I've seen this video where there's a guy doing this truck was nearby. I'm going to go investigate it, just letting you know, or any of the people where he knows in his life. It's like, so I'm going to go try and find this chick that's gone missing.
Yeah.
If I haven't replied in like half an hour, come find me or call the cops.
Yeah.
And then the movie would have been over. Tucker did remind me. You've seen Wolf Creek, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It was very, Mick from Wolf Creek kind of vibes, where he's just
very Aussie, deep Aussie caricature. I mean, this one goes a bit cartoony as well, which you know what? Like, I enjoyed Jake Courtney in this role. I think he's really giving it his all, and he does a pretty good job as making it scary because he's also quite a imposing dude. So when you're seeing him, he's scary. I mean, if he will go at you, there is a very good chance that he will overpower you. And
like he's a big dude. So I don't know how tall he is, but that Moses guy, he's built himself. But Tucker,
he's more lean. But Tucker is just he's just a brick. It's just a massive brick wall. But there's a couple of scenes where I think this is intentional, but it took me a little bit out of it of how scary he was when he's doing the dance, which is funny. It reminds you a little bit of Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs, right?
Silence of the Lambs,
Or when he barks at the dog as well. He scares the dog away. It's funny, but it's like it's a bit cartoony.
It's almost like the creepy Giovanni Ribisi's character in Ted, where he's like he's dancing, he dances in his underwear. It's just like it had that kind of vibes. It was more that than Buffalo Bill's.
Buffalo Bill is a lot more creepy.
There's quite a few moments where you go, oh my God, how insane and how depraved this character is. Firstly, poor Heather. So Heather, who is the character who is kidnapped at the beginning. So when the film shifts to when Zephyr gets kidnapped, and then she wakes up and she's in the room with Heather, and Heather's, I want to see my mum. My mum told me not to do this gap year. I just want to see her again. You're so hoping that she's gonna get back to her mum, and then obviously when spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, she's killed by Tucker. He's lowered her into shark-infested waters. It's very sad. And then later, how horrific! Like you're just seeing, it's half of the ocean is kind of in view. You're seeing the ship, and you're seeing this little kind of thing bobbing in the ocean, and camera pans down, and it's just like her head in the water. And it's just like, oh, that's actually really graphic. It's just
it's pretty gruesome.
That was surprising how gruesome it was. And then he's obviously got his trophy case where he's takes her hair, makes a little hook or sinker out of it. I think I'm not a Fisher person, sorry. And then he puts a VHS tape into a cabinet, and there's like dozens and dozens of VHS in this cabinet. I found it quite comical. What kind of broke him a little bit was when Zephyr threw his camcorder,
the camera in the water. Yeah, I like that.
And that's what kind of, oh my God, he's just lost it and he has to go find another one. That's his mission.
But you know what? I actually really like that his motive is pretty simple. He's a sadist. He's a sadist against women especially. And he likes to see women getting eaten by sharks. And that's his thing. And that's it. There is no complicated or convoluted motive about him. That's it. I kind of like that. You go straight into it. You go straight into the scares and the action and
obviously because he's had his own shark. He survived a shark attack when he was a kid as well, and so I don't know whether you needed to kind of have that deep-seated trauma that's what's kind of because no one watched him and no one looked after him. Maybe that's is that the
once
root
again,
of it?
Very Aussie childhood. Who hasn't been bitten by a shark?
One thing that kind of, I wouldn't say it bothered me. It was probably, I got a little bit tired of it, was how many times she almost got away and then he kept on bringing her back.
You know what? I like that.
You like that?
I like it because, she tries once and the first time she doesn't make it and you're like, okay, well, the story needs to keep going. That's why it doesn't work. She does that a second time in another way that is pretty... They're always kind of clever, and I would say the movie always plays on the edge of it's just believable enough for me to keep going. I don't think it would happen exactly this way in real life, but this is a movie and it keeps me entertained and I keep on believing it and not calling it this is total BS, except for one scene that I will mention afterwards. But I really like because when she starts swimming and she makes it to the shore and there is this party, I really thought that, oh, this is when she's going to be seen or saved, or this is going to continue. And he takes her just before anybody hears it and brings her back on the boat. I like that because eventually I was just, okay, so how this is going to end? How is she going to make it out? Now, I really enjoy that because you keep me confused. You keep me, which one is going to be the one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. In terms of a movie, it's gotta happen this way. But yeah, if this is a real serial killer and she's not almost got herself knocked out and she's in the water, he's not going to go back in for her. He's not going to go get her. He's just going to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, after maybe the first, maybe second time she would try to escape, I think as a serial killer, if you're just a little bit practical, you will speed up the kill because this one is trouble. She's feisty and eventually it's going to work out.
Yeah, because he says at the beginning, it's like, oh, you're a fighter. I like fighters. It makes it more fun. But it's like, maybe this one is this one's a little bit too much. Let's just get rid of you now.
Yeah. The only scene where it took me out of it was the thumb scene.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, it's a spoiler. I mean, we've been spoiling the movie all the way through the podcast, but really, if you don't want to hear more, I'm going to bring another one. It's, so she's handcuffed to the bed. She manages to dislocate her thumb and then she bites it off. It took me out of it because, I mean, unless it was brought up earlier that she had a thumb that would have a tendency to dislocate, then you bring it back to the story. That's why she manages to do it with her bare hand. Or you make her bang and bang and bang a thumb again against the headbed, for example. Then it makes more sense. But then the fact that she's biting off a thumb, I don't know. Yeah. I think you would have a survival instinct that will kick off to prevent you to really go in there and biting it until your finger is off. I mean, that's insane.
It is insane. But I actually didn't mind that.
Really?
I thought that was like, oh my, that's intense. That's one way to get out.
Yeah, I don't know. It just took me out of it. I was like, okay, well, this one is going a bit too far.
Yeah, maybe it was a little bit too far. But then when Tucker walks in and just sees her bed just blood soaked, he's like, what the fuck? And opens up the sheets and there's a thumb and I know. That was very theatrical as well. Like, she leaves this thumb there. It's like for you to discover. Actually, you know what that scene reminded me of? You haven't seen Gerald's Game by Mike Flanagan. This is where you have a scene of how to get out of handcuffs. That is so gruesome, but that feels real and intense. You should watch it. That's absolutely amazing. I've heard of the scene, but I'm not interested in seeing how that plays out.
I like the way that Taco dies as well. It's quite poetic, It's in a way, for someone who gets a kick out of seeing girls being eaten by shark, just being eaten by one and being pushed in the water, being harpooned by one of his victims. I like that.
And not just a shark, it was a great white as well. It's a big one too.
Yeah, loved it.
The only thing I probably didn't love was it was a bit too CGI heavy. That was probably the only time where they really pushed that CGI.
Yeah.
That just took me out of it just a little bit, but I didn't dislike it. I just didn't love it.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Shall we get into the score? Is there anything else that you'd like to...
Nah, let's get into scores.
Look, I like this. It was good. Look, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Really good. Like, it's not amazing, but yeah, a really fun watch. You don't have to think too much about it. A fun Saturday night in.
Nice. I give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. This is my kind of movie. It has great suspense. It knows how to build the tension and how to release it and build it back up again. It keeps you glued to the edge of your seat for the entire runtime. I really like that. I really enjoyed the performances, especially Jay Courtney. For me, he was sort of the next action heroes that they try to push. I've seen him in one of the Die Hards where he was playing Bruce Willis' son. That was horrible. And I saw him in Terminator Genesis. That was absolutely awful. And I kind of written him out as an actor. I was not really interested in his career, and now he's back on my line of sight, my line of interest. Yeah, it was very good.
He had that kind of similar Sam Worthington kind of vibe to him. Like they both came out around about the same time. Where at least, no disrespect to the other one, but at least Jai Courtney can act. I'm not a big fan of Sam Worthington's acting. Anything I've kind of seen him in, I've been like, eh.
Yeah, I would agree. So yeah, really enjoyed it. So yeah, a 4 out of 5 for me.
Alrighty. Well, what did you think about this one, everybody? Agree? Disagree?
It would be, when you're listening to the podcast, it would be in the description. There will be a link if you're interested in watching the movie. Otherwise, as usual, leave a comment. Follow us on YouTube or any channels that you are listening us in. And we'll talk to you next week.